In this lesson, we're just going to jump in and quickly color correct our rusty base to bring its brightness values more in line with the rest of our image. So here's where we left off. You can open up 21 Hue Shift Legs, and we have color corrected our legs and our sign here. So we need to color correct the base and the sandbag. So let's begin with the base because it's going to be a little bit easier. So let's select our last node here, press C to drop in another color corrector. Now we want to again go to the ranges, mask, sign matte dot base. Again, this color correcting process is a little bit repetitive, but it's definitely very important to the compositing process. So we can look here, and we really don't have too much blacks except in a very deep shadow. So we can see here that our base is very, very dark, and it's actually in view of full sunlight. So even inside of shadows, we still don't have pure black. So our base is obviously too dark. So let's come over here and let's pull its gain up a little bit. Now the gain is just going to make the white areas and the bright areas brighter. So if we want to brighten up the entire spectrum, we need to use the gamma slider as well. And gamma is going to try and begin remapping all of our dark values into a lighter spectrum. So we can see that by using a combination of the gamma and the gain, we can get a nicer, much brighter rusty object. Now, one problem we run into when pulling the gamma too far is the object obviously blows out. So obviously we need to not push the gamma too far, but we can also increase the contrast a little bit to kind of pull that back into a realistic spectrum. So let's take a look at this. I'll pull it a little bit brighter, because we are going to get some light off of this street here that's going to bounce back up and hit these rusty sort of bases. Now I don't want them super bright, of course. I just kind of want them a little bit brighter than the almost black objects that we had earlier. So this is looking like it's getting pretty close. I want to pull my gamma back just a little bit, because we have to be careful, because we're not only correcting this piece here, but we're also correcting this piece. So it's easy to blow this top part out while solely focusing on the base. Zoom out again just to check it against the rest of our scene. It's looking pretty good. We could probably raise it a little bit further, but I'm really hesitant to, because if we pull the gamma up any higher, we're going to begin desaturating and sort of blowing out all of our detail. So I'm going to leave my gamma at about here, about 0.45, because it gives me a nice balance of not only a brighter base, but some of the white spots are now visible. So let's press D and compare. So before it was very dark and we couldn't tell anything about this, and so what we did was we color corrected it. We pulled the gain up, which made our bright areas a lot brighter, and the gamma, which made the entire object brighter. We also increased the contrast a little bit to pull back some of that detail that the gamma was overriding. So that was color correcting the base, and if we zoom out, that's looking pretty good. So all we have left is these sandbags. Now, I don't know your tastes, but right now these sandbags really are not doing it for me. So we're going to come in and we're going to do a huge overhaul of our entire sandbag, and again, we're only able to do that because we have our color matte pass. So we'll begin that in the next lesson.